Welcome back, everybody. I wasn't really planning on having the camper be like a series on the channel, but, well, we're here, and it's gonna be, because that's what we're working on today, so I figured might as well film it, finish this up, although we're not gonna, well, we might finish it up, but it's very unlikely because we're not that good. If you didn't catch last time, we got this 32-foot Passport Ultralight, had a slight tree intrusion through the front end of this. It was a park model, or it's not a park model, but it was in a campsite type of deal, and it had been sitting for a while. That's why it's all nasty on the outside. It needs a good cleaning, but it did have some damage here. Not a lot of water damage like it had been. It definitely got damaged, but the floor is still pretty much solid. Like, this is just because it's not super attached here to the end, but it's solid enough. We had some like wet inside, but it wasn't rotted through, so we got really lucky on all of that. And then we removed the entire front section of this as one piece off of there, and now we're kind of getting into, there's going to be a little bit more removal here, but we're really getting into the rebuild portion here, and Lance has some plans for that, so let's check with him. And we got Lance here. He's kind of a big deal, busting out the Disney shirts again. Family man. He's a family man.
Yeah. So I got an idea here on how to get this thing solved. First spot over here, I'm thinking this corner, where this is all damaged, we just take a nice like Sharpie or something of that sort, kind of mark a line across here, straight up to there, and just replace that corner. I'm going to take the like little oscillating tool or whatever and just get rid of all the plastic, all the fiberglass in that area. Then in here, I think we're going to rebuild this with wood. Spencer said no, I said maybe, and now I'm saying yes. So, like, up to where it's bent will stay aluminum, but from there on up to the roof line, I want to just replace all that crinkled up aluminum with wood. So, yeah, that's my idea. And then the oscillating tool all around these edges, pull this paneling off.
Yeah. The nice thing about in a camper is there's no real safety issues, because, like, you're not going to be in it when the thing's moving.
True.
As long as it's good enough to sit there, doesn't leak, that's really all that matters. And you're not supposed to walk on these roofs anyways.
This is a non-walking roof. It actually literally says on their site that if it doesn't have a ladder attached to the camper from the factory, it is not to be walked on.
Now Lance is making sure everything's done exact here. This is a task force level. Those are $8.99 at Lowe's.
Not the aluminum ones.
It is one. It is
$9.80.
Okay, sorry, it isn't one of the plastic ones. That's true.
These are the good ones. Uh-oh. The bubbles combined. Hold on a second. I just bumped that a few times. Nope, still combined. Nope. Getting closer.
We build everything to level and torque everything to spec. That's what we do around here.
I think I got it now. There we go. So that's what we're cutting out.
And you're just taking the luau off the outside, right?
The fiberglass.
You're just doing the fiber.
I only wanted to cut through the fiberglass, I thought.
Okay.
Well, maybe the luau too, but I...
Come on, man. You got to keep it up there. Do we think it's called luau?
Oh, yeah, the luau.
Yeah.
I'm going to slice this piece of aluminum here right behind where it's damaged, and then the rain gutter, the same thing, just to seam it.
What tool are you using there?
This is a cutoff tool.
All right, what brand?
Hyper Tough.
Okay.
Hold that for a moment.
Yep. All you have to do to replace that styrofoam is just like buy a piece of stereo equipment or something.
Yeah, put that back in. Oh my gosh, yeah, that's not great. But I think our next step is to cut around these edges with the oscillating tool and remove some paneling.
All right, do you want to do that rather than just removing this piece here?
Yeah, I mean, either one's an option, but I'm thinking just cut around it.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, at least for this.
Originally, I said we should just cut around it, but now it's just not that hard to remove. Now that I've looked at it, it's 10. It's 13 screws.
All right, let's remove it. Then we can get a nice straight shot in here to work on everything.
Okay. While I was taking this out, Lance worked on cutting around that. The whole, I don't know, entertainment center? Is that the best thing to say, I guess? Because we're pretty much going to end up resheeting this whole thing with a new style, because I highly doubt we can still get the same colors and everything to match in if we wanted to replace just one sheet. So the whole bedroom is going to be a new, we're going to update it. It's going to be brought up to the 21st century, though this was built in like 2012, so that's not a great example.
Got it. There she is.
Now, we do have one small issue as we just did this, and that is that it's starting to rain. I don't think it's going to rain forever, but it is dark pretty much the whole way around. But
Look at these little teeny trusses. That's what they are. They're like little baby trusses.
yes, they are.
Nice.
Oh, it does go to aluminum back here. Okay, I didn't see that. So it switches to aluminum back here. Huh. These look like something you could actually, like, buy. Yeah.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Oh, no, sorry. Thought it was all rotted down there or something. It's just the back. All right. Whew. So Lance and I did just have a little discussion here about what we're going to do to get this thing 100% back to right. I think we've come up with a good plan. Could be a mediocre plan. We had a lot of funny banter and everything during the original conversation, but most of it was just rambling, so we're going to go over the details now. So you want to tell everybody then what we're thinking here? Because I think this is going to work. I think other than the people who know anything about, we do have one guy who commented on the last video who does this. So we apologize for whatever is about to happen, but I think we came up with a good plan.
All right. Only one flaw in my plan before I start it. Do you know what the insulating... Not do you, YouTube. I'm looking at Spencer.
Yeah.
Do you know what the insulating quality of a sheet of plywood is? Like, is it... like
R1?
Not as good as this.
I wouldn't think so, but maybe.
Okay. Well, basically what we're going to do, I think, is the only part of the aluminum structure that was really, really messed up bad is this section right here. So our hope is that I can cut this insulation away. I'm going to cut it down to about here. Come across, come up through here, and to the back side of the outside of the lawn, I'm going to glue a half-inch sheet of plywood to the outside, and then notch it right here to match the old piece of aluminum here. So the half-inch will go here, turn up, and then be at this height. And it will arc the whole way till it meets this piece here. And probably I'll notch it around to go underneath this bar as well. That way it can kind of lock into the structure of the aluminum. And then we're going to glue one more half-inch piece on top. The next one has to sit down at this wider level. And so it will go right here, glued on top. And it will actually follow this. It will not be at this higher height because that's only a single wide piece. It will follow the same contour the whole way down to here, notched out. So we're going to rebuild this whole thing with just a sheet, well, 2 sheets of plywood sandwiched together, glued to the outside wall, sitting on top of this stud.
Yep. And we'll use this side over here for a template. That's easy because this one's not damaged at all, so that one makes it pretty easy. And the only thing that it doesn't fix yet is maybe the end piece. The end piece that actually like finishes the front of the camper is all aluminum. But I think it's damaged. Is it not damaged?
Yeah. But I already have a plan for that.
Okay.
We're gonna use the damaged. Well, we're gonna use the half of it that's good, which brings us up to about here.
Okay.
And then from there on up, it is only like cross members. Okay. So all we're gonna do in here is the paneling for the room is gonna screw into the back side here. So the paneling for the decorative side will be screwed onto here. Decorative side onto here. So those two will seam like that. And then on top of this, we will just lay 1x strips every so often up into here to screw the Luan to. So we're just going to add 3 or 4 strips across the back side of the paneling.
And I would assume strength-wise, lumber has to be pretty close to this aluminum stuff, because this aluminum stuff's not anything special.
Yeah, it's not super strong.
I think it's for weight is the reason we did this. Like, I don't think it'll be any strength issue. Might be a little bit heavier, like might be an extra 50 pounds.
I think, yeah, on the whole project, it can't be more than like 50, maybe 100 would be crazy.
Yeah, so I don't think it's going to make any big difference, and I think it'll be just as strong or stronger even. Like, yeah. I mean, this plywood's going to definitely be stronger than the original.
And I plan on everything we put together. I plan on construction adhesive, glue, you know, whatever. So when you get a Luan sandwiched on top of a 1x on top of the inside paneling, all glued along those strips, that's going to be a solid piece.
Yeah, I think we'll be fine. So we're going to do a store run and pick some stuff up, and then we'll be back to it here. We jumped ahead of here a little bit. Lance ran to the store, got all of the plywood and all the supplies here. We got our Luan, though we might need some other Luan. They only had 1/8 inch at Lowe's, so it's what we just picked up. But, I'm sorry, 1/4 inch. We need 1/8 inch. That's what I was trying to say. We need 1/8 inch. This is 1/4 inch because this stuff is not nearly as pliable. Like, I think it would work, but it's not what was on there. That was all 1/8 inch. So Home Depot supplies it, which in my life I used to really like Lowe's more than Home Depot, but now I like Home Depot a lot more than I like Lowe's. So, because they actually stock stuff, it seems. So we are going to work on making our templates here. I think Lance is just doing some basic cuts. Then we'll take the sheet over there and actually get an exact, you know, outline and everything that we need to cut it right.
General dimensions, like for the kind of a square, is 25.5 by 51, which means you actually can't get 2 full pieces out of 1 sheet of plywood.
Oh, shoot.
Okay, but it's rounded. So I'm making the big square here, but then I am going to just chop off. Okay. Okay. Woo!
Don't worry, we didn't get it on camera.
Nope.
Nobody will see it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So this corner here, I'm going to show you in a sec, is going to be eliminated. This here has to be like cut at an angle here.
Oh, okay.
And cut at an angle here, so we can get 2 pieces out of it. Nice.
So we're over here figuring out exactly how to mark out this template and everything, because like all of this is broken out at random spots. So we measured from the bottom here up to that one, measured from the bottom here, because we're going to use this side obviously for our template, because this side is still 100% square, or 80%. I don't know. It's like 80% square. And so we're using the info from this side, and then just got to put it over there. So should work. Should work. Just making sure all the numbers are right. Everything, all the math works. So I'm up here. To help Lance to hold
the center.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get this on film as best I can, but
You don't go to the center.
I got my hand in the center, don't I?
That's just gonna. I feel like it's gonna be front heavy, but okay. All right.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead and just squeeze it.
I'm squeezing. No, okay. You have to use 2 hands. Hold on.
So here's what I need. I'll hold it now.
Okay, you got it.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, this end's gonna drop.
All right.
It's not.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I think I got it. All right. Go ahead and yep. I kind of want every line along there, as much as possible.
We got our template in here. This, we got to figure out exactly where, in what direction we need to cut, because we're interlocking the metal braces into here so we can screw it. We have something to screw into. So, it takes a little bit of precise calculation.
What was this mark?
That is just where the metal is split. up top.
You just
like,
marked it? Just
yeah, I just marked it just so that we knew where that break was. I don't know that it matters.
That actually does line up pretty nice up there. I would put this down to about right.
Yeah, right under here. I think it should be right there.
Should be right this edge.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Alright, go ahead and mark the other side then.
I can't get down in there.
Alright, well we now know the width now though. So.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Okay, so here
it looks pretty good though.
From the outside.
Will that guy down in?
That should lay down into that. Kind of like that-ish.
And it's funny, like, people who are watching are probably not going to love this, but this is stronger
than anything in this game.
Than any. I mean, plywood, like solid sheet of plywood, especially two of them glued together, is way stronger than this thing ever was. If at some point during this video Lance saws through the back of the tailgate on the truck, I will give away one lucky subscriber a $500 certificate at toplineracer.com. So now we're templating the second piece here. The issue that we ran into with somebody, I'm not even going to mention names. I don't even want to bring it up or make a big deal about it, but somebody should have cut this a little bit longer so that we could notch in the top section of the frame up there into these two sheets of plywood. So we're just going to make this a little bit longer here so that we can actually drill in and connect the whole structure up there.
Tell you what, man, my confidence level on this thing is like a 12. All right.
On a scale of 100?
Let's not go through the scale, okay? But I'm very confident. And I think we glue it and screw it and put it up. As far as getting this thing set up, I'm thinking you go to the outside, I'll go to the inside maybe.
Okay.
And I don't want to put too many screws through the outside of the camper, but I'm thinking, you come over here for a sec. I'm thinking once we know that it actually fits right, we'll test that first. Put like a screw right here, or somewhere in this area. Maybe like two here, and like one in this corner and one up top. You know what I mean?
Just to hold it in.
Just a few, just to hold it in, and then we'll have to like because this seam we're gonna have to do something with anyway. So we'll try to fill those in or cover them up once it's glued.
Okay.
But that'll be just to glue it and hold it. All right. Maybe.
Might fit. Takes a little bit to get through it too. It's actually I can see why they use that stuff now. So there's the repair job. We got some screws in through here, screws in along the bottom into this guy, and really the whole thing, like the whole walls and everything of this flex bit, it's all flexing together, which is what we want to have happen. So it's might do just a little bit more just to attach it into the back section here, but otherwise it is good and it's pretty strong. We use this guy as a template to make our next piece of ceiling, which will be the first one here to go up. New, I don't know, whatever this is, wainscoting style. And this is going to be our new walls. Coming in hot. You cut her close?
I think so. Okay, now that has to stay up on top. Your back section?
Yeah.
Okay,
I got her up on top.
Okay.
Yep, there we go. If this fits, I'm going to freak out.
Me too, actually.
In a good way.
Me too.
Mine is still pretty
tight?
nicely in place, yep.
Okay.
New piece in, looking beautiful here. We got the cutout for our antenna. We did just mark this guy. I know it looks ugly, but we got to cut a circle out here for the air vent. Everything else we'll just patch in with a little caulking, maybe a little the Bondo or whatever stuff, depending on how bad it is, but it should be fine. Put transition strip here, and then you really won't even notice it too much because this is a separate room. Right now the curtains are out, but should be pretty easy. The rest of this, we are going to build the whole interior essentially next before the outside's done. So really these sheets we just have to take and bend down around the corner on each side, and that'll be the interior wall of the camper, which is exactly how it was done before. We're just using a different style stuff. So should be good, I think, and then we'll build the framework after. And we jumped ahead a little bit here, so we're just about ready to throw this in. We did put another piece up here. It has actually sat overnight and has started to sort of form to the shape of the camper. It really is not as flexible as we hoped it was going to be, but it did go. It didn't really break it, anything like that. I mean, you can see it's taut pretty hard at the ends. There's nothing to support it in the center yet, so that's kind of why it dips there. I think that'll straighten out later. And we got our wall up, our whatever compartment wall for the front, and we're gonna put the top on right there. And I don't know, after that we'll either torch it or keep working.
So, just gotta yank some staples and nails, and I think we're good to just cut it off. We can actually cut it off first, just to make life easier.
True, a little shorter. So,
yeah.
What are you thinking on this?
No,
this guy here.
It's just going to the wood. So
okay,
it's 47 inches up.
Okay.
I measured it
47
earlier.
from the bottom.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we got that. I think she'll go. Lance is up there. He's formulating. You can see him up there. He's thinking. He's looking into the sun about what the final part of this plan should be. This cage was damaged, as you guys saw, so we had to modify it a little bit. And I think we're just going to use wood, maybe 2 more boards across. You thinking?
Thinking 2 more.
2 more, and then on the edges, since this cage, the rest of it here that's damaged, we do have enough good stuff here to go straight across. So I think we'll be all right. All right, well, here to end the video a little bit, we wrapped up the rest of the camper here. We put the tarp back on because it is going to rain. I wanted to actually have this video be like the end of the outside portion. We weren't going to get the inside done, but I wanted this to be the end of the camper build for right now until we do the last few finishing touches. But we ran into, not problems, but just some new information on how to finish it. We talked to a RV guy because we're going to buy the Phylon, that fiberglass membrane on the outside, and that stuff is supposed to be glued in a very like laminated type fashion to the backer board, the 1/8 inch, the flexible like Luan, and that means you have to have a huge table or something to make it happen. And it has to be like pressed down over time, and because it gets like a foamy bubbles and different things in it, and it just, I guess it acts a little weird, whatever the glue is. It's not anything I've ever dealt with. Oh, there's a pile of gutters there because Lance is getting his house redone with the gutters. Anyways, but yeah, you gotta really work on it. You gotta have a good space to work on it and constant pressure and different stuff. And it's, since the stuff's 8.5 feet wide and it would be a pretty much solid sheet for the whole front, it would be a little challenging for us to take on. The other option is we could do metal, like a stainless or aluminum, whatever, I guess, like coil stock type of a deal. That's an option. Or have a company, there's like the local RV company will make that section that we need for the front end, but it's a little more expensive. So we're going to decide on that over the next couple days. Nothing's been 100% decided, but we have knocked this thing out. I'm sure people are going to say that we're not doing it the right way, but I'm telling you, and we actually verified. We went to the RV place, showed them what we did, ran sort of through it, and they're like, oh yeah, that'll be plenty strong. So, and I think it's actually stronger. It has less flex now than originally, like when we took it apart. Well, I guess it did have a hole through it, so maybe not a great example, but I think it's going to be fine. So yeah, I mean, it might not be perfect, it might have a couple dips and then not quite as perfectly round, but I think it's gonna come out and work just fine for what Lance is gonna use it for his family. So we'll keep you updated on it. I'll show it in some upcoming videos. I don't know if it'll be a dedicated one, but we'll finish it up at some point here. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a great night.